This the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, 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 Ka Elohim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule well, being the great example to his younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Lord willing is edifying. That's another edition of Measure Thou the Time diligently in itself, and Lord willing it be edifying.
But look at the difference between last year and this year. Extraordinary drought across the West, the worst we have ever seen.
Now, 7 News on your side amid increasing reports of birds, hundreds of them, found blind, dead, or dying right here in the DMV. And we want to warn you that some of these images are difficult to see.
Yeah, this is a rough one. So what do you do, though, if you find one of these birds near your home? Here's 7 News' Heather Graff now with advice from wildlife experts and the search for answers about why this is happening.
According to a report in the Washington Post, an unusual number of blind birds have been found dead or dying around Washington, D.C. lately, and wildlife experts say they have no idea why.
The calls keep coming here at the Animal Welfare League of Arlington.
Animal Welfare League of Arlington, how can I help you?
Calls from concerned homeowners and neighbors about birds that appear to be blind, their eyes so swollen and crusty with discharge, they're unable to fly.
It's really ramped up in the last couple of weeks.
So far, the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources says it's gotten more than 300 reports of dead or dying birds in the Commonwealth, but it's happening in Maryland and the district as well. A 7 News viewer took this video in Rockville, and experts say they're seeing it most often in grackles or blue jays, like you see here.
It's mostly concerning because we don't know what it is.
As one expert at the Wildlife Resources Department put it, the volume of reports and clinical signs are not suggestive of something they've seen routinely in the area, so they might be dealing with an emerging or novel issue.
Megan Kirschgessner is Virginia's state wildlife veterinarian and says a long list of agencies throughout the region are working to solve this mystery and to educate the public in the meantime.
If there are dead birds in the yard and they need to be picked up, please wear gloves.
And experts say these sick birds are also showing neurological signs. So just a bizarre situation. And as you heard, so far, no explanation on the cause of all of this. Experts are asking.
And I have an explanation on the cause of all this. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear ye the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out in blood toucheth blood. Verse 3, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Yeah, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken. You know, so that's what's going on. Ain't no truth nor knowledge of the Lord in the land, man. Nobody fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Not the Lord have to just judge everything, man. The Lord have to make his name known in the earth again. The Lord prove points through everything, man. You know? Lord judge the whole earth. Just because motherfuckers don't want to act right, man. Lord start causing havoc to everything in the earth, man.
People to report to their local wildlife agency anytime you see one of these sick or dying birds.
Hey Hey guys, yeah, so perhaps you've heard about birds dying or seeming to struggle, either in your neighborhood group chat or unfortunately maybe you came across a dead bird yourself. And so now the question is are the cicadas the cause?
It's not impossible that it's not.
And the cicadas ain't the cause. This nigga here is the cause. This Esau Edom, so-called white man. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, Esau Edom, the nation of Edom. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Yeah, with all his radiation, his what is not radiation? His well, radiation of 5G towers, all these different things, his direct energy weapons, his weather modification. This nigga got the power to do a lot of stuff, and all of it is swords. He weaponized everything. His chemtrails he's spraying in the air. You know, all these different things play a part into peace being taken from the earth. And Esau Edom, beginning with these top elite banking families, you know, the Committee of 300 and these notable Edomites who you don't even know who the hell they is. I ain't talking about no damn Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and the Mark Zuckerberg. No, them niggas is Rudy Poots, man. They not even in the running of being a part of the Committee of 300, man. They lower than the rich top and bankers. I'm talking about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Eisenhowers, DuPonts, you know, these top Edomites, and then probably Edomites you never even heard of, we never even heard of, you know. It's families that we probably never even heard of, man. You know? That you don't even know exist. They play the background that well to where you don't even know who they is. Above the Rothschilds, above the Rockefellers, above the DuPonts. They probably above. You got Edomites, you know. They keep their bloodline that tight, man. And they play the background that well. They don't come out. They ain't amongst the population, man. They ducked off, man. Don't nobody know them. You ain't got a picture with these devils, man. They just calling shots, man. And living life. And doing all kind of wickedness, you know. In the background, all these people coming up missing. That's where they at. With these Edomites you don't know. And don't see. I ain't talking about Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. No, them niggas low level, man. They ain't got no money for real. They $1 trillion ain't shit to the elites, man.
Data related, but it's not overly likely.
He says the birds appear to have neurological issues or vision problems. One Northside resident tells me they found 4 dead birds in their backyard within 2 weeks.
Really, the only way that it could be like a cicada related issue is if it were pesticides or some sort of weird bacterial infection. But interestingly, lots of things animals are eating cicadas right now.
Animals like squirrels and your pets are getting in on the feeding frenzy, yet there are no reports of them being affected like the birds, a key point when tracking down the source of this problem.
Something has changed in their environment that's affecting them, whether it's a man-made cause, whether it's just a breakout.
He says younger blue jays and grackles are the primary birds affected.
It is hard to speculate long-term, effects of this because we don't know how many individual animals will be affected, how many won't.
Large parts of the northern hemisphere have seen a partial solar eclipse today. The moon traveled directly in front of the sun in what's called an annular eclipse.
A rare solar eclipse that astronomers call a ring of fire took a bite out of the sun for more than an hour.
Because the moon's so far away from Earth, it didn't block out the whole sun, creating a ring of fire.
It's been a long time.
This the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 15. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. So like it, that ain't it. Verse 31, it say the sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood before that great and terrible day of the Lord come. And when they say the sun shall be darkened, shall be turned into darkness, going into these eclipses, so like it, in the moon into blood, the blood moons before that great and terrible day of the Lord comes. See, these blood moons and wolf moons and eclipses, these things don't supposed to happen, but here 150 years, let them tell it. 100, at least every 50 years, not this every year, every month. If you can't see it in this part of the earth, you'll see it over there in Russia. If you can't see it in Russia, you might see it in Alaska. If you can't see it in Alaska, you might see it in Alabama, Southeast America. It's just every, if you can't see it there, you see it in Brazil. It's just moving around like an eclipse. Like, these things usually didn't happen all the time. Like, the day ain't reported. Now it's every week. Something else, different moon, different eclipse, different this, different that. All these different so-called celestial anomalies that supposed to happen every so many years. Now they happen every year, every month.
Since we've seen this.
Oh, yeah, Anthony, the Northeast, you've got to go back to 1959. That's before I was born. The next one, not until 2079. So this was my opportunity, my once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see it. It did not disappoint.
An eclipse at sunrise in the United States. One of nature's most dazzling sights, the moon gliding in front of the sun, taking a bite from the shining disk. And this was the view from Canada, where the northernmost parts of the world were treated to a full spectacle.
As it was rising, I mean, it was something to see, and you had all kinds of iconic pictures around the Northeast. The sun rose over that iconic New York City skyline. Great shots from the Jersey Shore as well.
But today's event has delighted many around the world with a display of a true celestial wonder.
Crippling drought across multiple states. The alarming images tonight of Lake Mead at the Hoover Dam. It's part of the Colorado River system, the water supply for 40 million.
And it's the Lord bringing these droughts. Even if your boy E got his hands in it, the Lord is doing this. And let's prove, because Esau want to be us. Esau trying to mimic, he sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And these are the things we're going to do to the heathen if they don't abide by the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Ultimately on this, if they don't come up and keep the Feast of Tabernacle, because all this is orchestrated. Esau go up there and spray chemtrails in the air, and he can stop it from raining. He can manipulate the weather, through what? His technology, through that great sword that was given him by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But this Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 16, it say, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem, all you heathens, even shall against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts, and of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall come, and it shall be that whosoever will not come up of all families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King of the King, the Lord of hosts, Yahweh, even upon them shall be no rain. See, we're gonna have power to make it not rain in the areas where these heathen, if they don't come up and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And what do a lack of rain cause? It causes drought. And what else does it cause? It causes famine. Why? Because if it's a drought, then no food grow, no pulse, so to speak, no greens, no vegetation. And if the vegetation don't grow, the clean animals can't eat. And if the clean animals ain't eating, hell, even the unclean animals ain't eating because everything dying off because it's a lack of food. You know? But just like in the time of Egypt, what happened when not David, I'm tripping. When Joseph was up under the Pharaoh, roughly speaking, the Pharaoh was having dreams. I think he was in prison. Couldn't nobody interpret the dreams but Joseph. And he had a dream, and Joseph interpreted the dream, told the Lord telling you there's gonna be 7 years of plenteous and then 7 years of famine. So on the 7 years of plenteous, store up, and prepare for the 7 years a drought, roughly paraphrase. And Esau Edom has the weather technology to manipulate the weather and act as if he a god, man. But even if Esau is doing this, we know this Psalm chapter 17 and verse 13, it say, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." So even if Esau doing it, the Lord doing it, because why? He's the sword of the Lord. The Lord gave him these things to wreak havoc in the earth, going back to that Revelation 6 and 4. The Lord gave him this to, if the earth up, and the Lord gonna come back and judge this nigga, man. Destroy him that destroyed the earth. Esau destroyed the earth, man. And he's continually destroying. Now he want to destroy existence. Really, he want to destroy what is. He want to destroy all that. He getting beyond himself, man. He lifted up with pride, and he got to be stopped.
Americans.
Well, by tomorrow, Lake Mead is expected to drop to its lowest level in history. Some 40 million people, including all of us right here in Clark County, rely on the reservoir for water. And as ABC's Matt Gutman explains, you may start noticing the effects of the water shortage very soon.
Tonight, the images of this mega drought are writ across the Southwest's landscape. Bathtub rings around reservoirs show where the water once was. Boat marinas and fields bone dry.
This part of the Colorado River system is a crucial water supply for Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Southern California. It makes the vast agricultural land of the desert Southwest possible.
This landscape screams problems to me. I mean, just look at the bathtub rings. To me, that is an enormous wake-up call.
Much of the water the dam is supposed to be holding back is gone.
This is like a different world.
A dangerous heat wave from the northern plains to New England is breaking records while the south faces a severe weather threat. Meanwhile, red flag fire warnings have been posted in several western states where a historic drought is threatening a catastrophic fire season.
Nearly 300,000 miles of the Southwest are in exceptional drought, an area bigger than the state of Texas.
The before and after pictures at Lake Orville from 2016 to now are striking.
Anywhere you look, weather nationwide is at extreme conditions. You've got the drought dominating the West Coast and relentless rains saturating the eastern seaboard.
In neighboring Utah, the dry conditions prompted the governor to call for a weekend of prayer.
We need more rain, and we need it now. We need some divine intervention.
A weekend of prayer to who? Jesus the Christ? Shit, all you gotta do is talk to fuck boy E. He'll make it rain for you. But he don't want that. Esau finna kill his own people, man. The scriptures say if he will not do good to himself, to whom will he be good? Esau don't care, man. This man is off his rocker, man. If you ain't a part of the the club, then you just messed up, man. You Edomites that ain't a part of the bull, ain't a part of the circle. You through, man. Ain't even nothing to talk about, man. It's over with for you.
The heat and humidity also produced scattered severe thunderstorms from Alabama to Texas, where a woman's body was recovered after floodwaters swept her car off the road. More than 100 homes were flooded outside of Houston.
As
the West Coast thirsts for rain, with lakes dipping to their lowest level in decades. People on the East Coast are getting hit with blinding downpours. This video from North Carolina showing what drivers faced on Interstate 95, south of Raleigh, as severe storms moved through the area.
California's drought isn't just posing wildfire danger, it is also threatening a species of salmon.
Because the state experienced one of the driest years on record, waterways that would normally carry young salmon out to sea are now hotbeds of dirt and dust.
I'm standing currently 40 feet underwater, or should be standing 40 feet underwater.
Governor Gavin Newsom declared a drought.
And that's a lot of water gone for 40 feet of water to not be there. He supposed to be standing 40 feet. That's a lot of water. That's deep as hell. That's a lot of water. And that ain't just no little small, a 12-foot swimming pool, 12 by 12, something like that. That's a lot of water. This is probably miles wide and long. No water, drought, cracking. That's the Lord doing this, man. The salmon, post-salmon. You know, but hey, when our kingdom is established, the animals are gonna rejoice. The trees are gonna rejoice. Existence will rejoice when the righteous rulers come into their rulership. As of now, everything in trouble, man.
Emergency from a cracked lake bed in April.
The hots are getting hotter, the dries are getting drier.
Iconic Chinook salmon need cold, running water to survive. They hatch in rivers, then migrate to the sea to mature. After a couple years, they swim back to where life began, to reproduce or spawn. But this year, studies show fish born in the wild will likely die.
Just a quick look. One story has caught my eye. This is in the Telegraph, and there's a new telescope that has detected hundreds of mysterious radio bursts from space, prompting a string of theories about where they're coming from. So fast radio bursts, very short, very intense pulses of radio waves, first discovered in 2007, but there's been a whole load of them found recently. The Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment, known as CHIME.
That is easier.
They've been using a radio telescope in British Columbia. 535 new FRBs, these pulses, in a 12-month period, 2018-2019. Is someone sending us a message from out there?
Have they established whether or not that is the case?
No.
Oh.
No, they haven't.
How do they know if it's not just a glitch in the machinery?
Well, they say it's more than that, but something is happening out there. There's something happening out there. Just by way of information, a lot of people are interested in UFOs. Apparently, I wasn't aware of this. Very shortly, the government is about to release, which they do periodically, their UFO investigations, which sort of remain behind closed doors. That's coming out soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who knows?
And he say, who knows? The prophet knows. Those are signs from Yahweh Shem Yahushua that this place finna go down. This whole beast system from America all the way to wherever these devils that run the earth, it's finna go down, man. This whole way the earth is ran, it's finna be a new way. You know, it's over with, man. It's over with and everything for this place. But that's pretty much the point, Lord, when this was edifying. I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. Rule well, been a great example to the young brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the hopeful lake. And these videos that I do, they from Stephen A. I mean, it's not Stephen A. Not that coon. Jason A. He got his YouTube page is Jason A. You see his name right there. And I'm going to just let it play out and close out. But Lord willing, this will edify. Shalom. Call me out, Shalom, the Bible. Shalom.